Imagine a human being trapped inside an inferno reaching 800 degrees Celsius for nearly half a minute. This was the harrowing reality for Romain Grosjean during the 2020 Bahrain Grand Prix, a moment that blurred the line between a horrific tragedy and a miraculous feat of engineering. His survival was not just a stroke of luck, but a testament to decades of relentless safety innovation. To truly grasp how a driver walked away from such a nightmare, we must examine the specific layers of technology that synchronized perfectly on that fateful evening. By the way, if you appreciate these detailed breakdowns of racing history, consider joining our community for more insights. The first line of defense is the survival cell, a carbon fiber fortress designed to protect the occupant at all costs. Constructed from layers of high-grade carbon fiber and Kevlar, this 6mm shell is built to withstand forces that exceed common comprehension. While it is typically tested against standard impacts, the crash in Bahrain pushed it to the absolute limit. At the moment of impact, the vehicle hit the barrier at 190 kilometers per hour, generating a staggering 67 times the force of gravity. In that split second, the driver's body effectively weighed 4.5 tons, while his head exerted hundreds of kilograms of force. The fact that this structure remained intact while the rest of the chassis was torn asunder is a masterpiece of material science, ensuring the pilot had a hollow space of safety amidst the wreckage. Beyond the shell, the head and neck support system served as a critical safeguard for the driver's physical integrity. This carbon fiber collar, which has been a mandatory requirement for over 2 decades, tethers the helmet to the seat to prevent violent neck movement during a sudden deceleration. Without this simple yet vital connection, the sheer force of the impact would have caused a fatal injury long before the fire even started. By stabilizing the head, the system ensured that the pilot remained conscious, giving him the mental clarity and physical capability to fight for his escape from the encroaching flames.
The driver's racing suit acted as the final barrier against the intense heat. Made from a specialized flame-resistant material known as Nomex, these garments are designed to provide a brief window of protection against direct fire. Although the safety standards at the time guaranteed only 12 seconds of security, the pilot was exposed for more than double that duration. As the heat intensified, the fabric carbonized and thickened to block the thermal energy. We witnessed the edges of his gloves beginning to melt and darken, yet the suit held long enough to prevent lethal burns to his skin and internal organs from the superheated air. Perhaps the most vital component in this specific accident was the halo, a titanium structure positioned above the cockpit. Initially met with skepticism regarding its aesthetics and visibility, this device proved to be a lifesaver in Bahrain. As the car pierced the metal guardrail at a sharp angle, the halo acted as a wedge, forcing the heavy steel beams apart and shielding the driver's head from a direct strike. Without this titanium arc, the metal rail would have likely passed through the cockpit with devastating consequences. Despite the deformation it suffered, the device maintained a protective dome that allowed the pilot to remain shielded throughout the impact. Technology, however, is only effective when paired with swift human intervention. The medical team, trailing the pack during the opening lap, arrived at the scene in just 11 seconds. Alongside them, track marshals demonstrated immense courage by braving the heat to deploy fire extinguishers, creating a brief path through the fire. This small window provided the driver with the opportunity to find his bearings. Despite initially feeling a sense of resignation, the thought of his family spurred a final surge of adrenaline. He managed to free himself from the mangled wreckage, slipping out of a trapped boot and leaping over the guardrail into the safety of the medical crew. The aftermath of this event triggered a significant shift in racing safety protocols. The governing body launched an intensive investigation that led to several technical refinements across the sport. Fireproof gloves were redesigned to withstand heat for longer periods, and fuel cell components were reinforced to prevent similar leaks in the future. Even track design was altered, with specific barriers being replaced by more energy-absorbent materials. While this event marked the end of a career in this category, it cemented the driver's legacy as a symbol of resilience. He remains a living example of how the fusion of advanced engineering and human willpower can overcome even the most impossible odds.